So we're about to look at our first touchdown against the New England Patriots. As you can see from the scorecard, the ball's coming with us 10:36. It's the third quarter. What I like about this drive, it's the second long drive that Tua led. It had 9 plays, 72 yards, and took 4 minutes 28 seconds. You probably all saw the game at the weekend, and we had a very long drive for 15 plays and 95 yards. Excuse me, but unfortunately Tua threw an interception. But that took 9 minutes 11 seconds. So already I like the urgency that both the offense and Tua are displaying on this drive. This formation that we're looking at now is a statement maker. It says we are going to run the ball and you are not going to be able to stop us. We have substituted the ex-receiver for Davenport. In case you're wondering who Davenport is, we acquired him in the trade from the Texans in 2019. And then in the backfield, we've got super beefy backfield with everyone's favourite defensive tackle, Wilkins, as the fullback. Nothing says we're going to aggressively run the ball down your throat like every offensive lineman in a 4-point stance. All the weight is coming forward, it's all on their hands, their arses are up. This is just going to be straight old drive blocking. Even the tight ends, who would be used to having a balanced stance, have got their weight going forward. In this picture here, you can see Shaheen with his heels off the floor. He's definitely going to go forward. This says run all the way. So this still shows exactly what the Patriots are going to try to do to counter the power run game. I've marked the offensive blocking box in red, which discounts 35 and 21, as they're essentially forced defenders, because anything that gets outside they want to force back into the middle. I've also counted the number of Patriots players in the box, and they have 9 versus our 8. So what are we going to do about it? Well, right now, the biggest problem we have is that they've got double A gap. So if you don't know what that means, the A gap is the gap between the centre and the guard. The B gap is between the guard and the tackle, and the C gap is between the tackle and tight end. But they've got double A gap showing. This is a gap control defense, so they're going to shoot both those gaps. The left guard, Kindley, either knows he can't make it or knows he needs to give Shaheen Carrera some help. So he's tightened his gap. The right guard, Davis, thinks he's capable of making it, so he's backing himself. But 55 here is going to be taken by Shaheen and Smythe. The next 2 slides just show how offensively, how we're going to block it. You can see the double team between Carreras and Kinley, and everybody else is man across the board, apart from Smythe and Shaheen, who are going to double team 50. If we look at the next slide, the defense of how they're going to attack us, they're going to basically try and fill all of the gaps and make it more difficult for us. So we've spoken a little bit about the defenders, the New England Patriots having more defenders in the blocking box than Dolphins have blockers. However, what I'd just like to show you in this play is one of the things that makes it work is Wilkins' sheer determination to get behind the A gap between the centre and the guard. This draws both of the linebackers down to that hole. The force defenders on the outside are just interested, circled in red here, are just interested in making sure that nothing gets outside them, everything goes up the middle, and the Patriots actually have a flat defender, so if Tua was to boot out to his favourite side, to the side he's most comfortable, the flat defender would be responsible for him as well. But I would like to just point out some good things that we do with blocking scheme. Block A, this looks like a massive humanity, but there's no penetration there at all. Block B is the block by our right tackle, Hunt, who just basically washes everything down into the pile. And block C as well by Davenport. He's got control of this guy. So as Ahmed pushes the A gap, he bounces, that he's actually got some place to bounce back to, basically our offensive right, when the play doesn't work out. So here we see the Dolphins' clear intention to run the football. All 5 offensive linemen with their 4 points of contact, which means both hands on the ground, both feet, hence the 4 points. Here, just want to point out that Kindley has decided to shut the gap. So these are normally about 2 foot splits, but these are, right now, Carraras and Kindley are shoulder to shoulder. I would suggest that he knows that the centre's going to need help with the one tech. Davies' split has tightened just a little, but he knows he probably is betting himself that he can get there. So the one double team between the centre and the guard, the next double team is between the 2 tight ends, Smythe and Shaheen. Both would be used to having a balanced stance as tight ends, but here clearly all their weight is going forward. You can see by their body position. So this says run all the way. View film, from the box film. Just a couple of little points before we start. On the right hand side of the line, our centre is set, our right guard is set, our right tackle is set, and the Davenport, who is substituting the Z, is just about set as well. However, on the left hand side of the line is the bounce effect. Because Kindley's not set, Jackson can't get set. Because Jackson can't get set, Shaheen and Smythe also can't get set. So before we watch the film, we might have to rewind this back a couple of times. The double team between the centre on the guard and 52, Davis is going to take 70, and the second double team is between Smythe, and Shaheen. But really, the key block here is how our right tackle and X basically wash these guys out of the way, so that when Ahmed hits the line of scrimmage, he's got a bounce. Remember, it doesn't always have to look pretty, but as long as we get the job done and get points on the board, it's a win. Here we go. Defense comes in. Ahmed hits the wall, bounces down. Just a nice job.